managed to do this journey every day for about, I think it was 2 years I was based in this building. And this will be all the way to the M54 now. So the pleasure of driving to Wolverhampton. My name's Andy Martin. I work for Royal Mail. I have done for almost 33 years. I would say I'm very knowledgeable in the part of the job that I do in terms of elections. And I think if I hadn't been doing a good job over the years, I wouldn't be in the position that I am. For those of you that don't know me, I think the vast majority in this room do know me. I'm Andy Martin, as it says on the board, and I'll be the national lead for operations on the election, should there be one in the forthcoming weeks. My gut feeling is 28th of November or the 5th of December is when I think the election will be called. But I'll cover that off over the course of the next 180 slides. There's the timely response. I think I'm kidding. Yeah, I always wanted to get married and have a family. That was always something I wanted to do. So I hadn't got any set times of when to do it, but I did always want to get married and have a family. I've got 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, Kieran, Callum and Freya, and they're aged 16, 18 and 20, with the daughter being the youngest. They're very happy, yeah. We've been together 28 years, so it's quite a long time, and married for 22. After a busy day, I like to go home, watching a little bit of telly and spending time with the family. On a glass of red wine, or 2. I think from a family life perspective, I don't think I'm much different than a lot of people really, in terms of the fact that, you know, we've taken the kids to various clubs, we've got involved in those clubs, and as they're getting older and become less dependent, we're spending more time, you know, and even taken up as a couple, sort of ballroom Latin dancing in the last 12 months. So I don't think from a family perspective my story's a lot different than a lot of other families. The travelling can get tiring some weeks. Some weeks I'm in the office, in my normal office, I could be there every day, and then I might not be there for the next fortnight. I am lucky in respect that usually it's only one night. I think 2 nights is bearable, and then 3 nights, I think 3 nights is too much personally, and thankfully I don't have to do that very often. It's mainly 1 night a week. About 2006, 2007, around that time. Very tough time for me personally and the family, because I was going through a lot of stress, some very, very difficult dark moments. I joined Special Events in 2008. I became the regional planning manager for the Midlands in 2009. Then they did a reorg and we went from 9 areas to 5, and luckily I got one of those 5 jobs. 12 months later I got the head of Special Events nationally, which is a job I'd always wanted, and then we were due for the next reorg, and they upgraded my job, which meant that I was then searching for a job. So literally for 6 weeks I just sat there going in every single day, waiting for the phone to ring, and eventually I got off the job in safety. Okay, good afternoon everybody, and welcome to today's call. Thanks for joining so promptly. Oh, I hated safety. This is very important, but I hated it. I think getting promoted into the National Special Events team in 2008 was one of my greatest successes, because I'd had that period of time where I'd been downgraded. I was carrying out a role that I felt upset with because of the fact the way I'd been treated. So actually to be promoted, I think that was one of the best successes. Yeah, I love it. Best job I've ever had. It's because every day is completely different, which is why I wanted to stay in Special Events. It's just been unfortunate circumstances that gradings have changed and I've been the wrong grade at the wrong time, which is a bit frustrating when they keep dragging me back to do the work because no one else can do it. I've got a little pass for Parliament here that I get to update every year because I need to go in for the election, so this means I've got access to the House of Lords and the House of Commons as well. I don't like the picture. Quite clearly I wasn't very happy when the picture was taken for some reason. Okay, just about to go into Parliament, or the Palace of Westminster, also known obviously as the House of Commons. With the election I meet and speak on a regular basis to the Crown Office, which is a department that works on behalf of the Queen in Parliament. So it's the Crown of the Chancery, it's called. And as grand as that sounds, it's the pokest, smallest office I've ever seen in my life, just on in the back end of the side of the House of Lords. Everything to the left is Commons and everything to the right is Lords. But on the day that we move the writs, I'll be in the House of Lords working with the Crown Office to get the writs, which is the official documentation to call an election, getting those prepared and sent to the returning officers in the Westminster constituencies. So this is where we're going to be doing the writs today, and these blue envelopes are all the writs that go to all the returning officers. So we've got to sort these today and get them moved up the country to all the various local authorities. In terms of actual job roles, I think the way I've delivered the performance in the general election of 2015 in the West region, best performing region in the UK. Then in 2017, I was in the East region, and again, we were the best performing region, being able to demonstrate that it wasn't a fluke, that for 2 consecutive elections, the area I was responsible for was the best performing. I think I'm really proud of that. I'm really pleased that I've achieved what I've achieved. I am frightened to death to being taken away from me, because I genuinely don't know what I would do on the outside. You know, I'm approaching 50. I'm getting to the stage where I would struggle to get employment. And another review in 4 years' time, I might have to leave this business. So I'm frightened to death if that got pulled away. I think, yeah, you've got to be grateful. I mean, but having said that, it hasn't come without me putting the effort in. I think I've got a pretty good balance in terms of my life. Yes, I do sometimes do some long hours. I do quite a lot of travelling. So I think I'm quite happy where I am in that perspective. I'm 33 years in. I think getting to 40 would be brilliant.